What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel where we're talking land wholesaling, private lending, and new construction. And in today's video, I want to talk to you about how to find your builders, right? And the process that you need to take in order to be most effective, especially starting out. A lot of my content is going to be geared toward beginners, right? So if you're looking to wholesale, you may be interested, you haven't closed a deal before, or maybe you checked some wholesaling out in the past and kind of fell off a little bit. Whatever your starting point is, the goal for me in this channel is to pretty much guide you from any industry that you come from, right? Especially if you do have a sales background, and equip you with practical tools and KPIs, and basically giving you a roadmap as to how to get from zero to doing potentially 2 to 3 deals a month, right? And I'm very heavy on being practical, because it is going to be a little bit challenging for you to just do a ton of deals by yourself. Okay. In this business, especially when you look at the dynamic of wholesaling, usually starts with somebody who is doing between 1 to maybe even 5 deals, right? Or like for the high end, maybe have had a 5 deal month before, a couple of those, and you're looking to expand, right? So then you start bringing on an acquisitions person whose job is it to make the phone calls ultimately, right? And then once so while they're doing acquisition, you're doing acquisition as well. You're acting as the disposition and acquisition without that person. Then once you start closing more and more deals, then you can bring on a dispo person. So you'll have somebody who's actively prospecting, trying to get in deals, and then you'll have the person who's actively dispoing those deals, right? So they're connecting and reaching out with the builders. They're always cultivating and strengthening the relationships with these builders, with these clients, to know what markets they're in, what they're seeing, what the price points are. There's a lot of little nuances and stuff like that, especially when you go to different cities, different states. The frontage of the lots are important, right? Especially like, if you're in a place like Houston where you have deed restrictions, not necessarily zoning, there are going to be, some areas that are deed restricted to only single family houses, right? So if you are working with clients who build duplexes, or, build townhomes, or, mini condos or whatever, and you find an area that's deed restricted to this certain type of product, then that's probably not going to be a deal for them, right? So it's just understanding those little nuances works. But what I want to talk to you about today is going to be, how do you find your builders, and should you find the deal first and then the builder, or the builder first and then go look after the deals? So me personally, I believe that it makes more sense to talk to builders first. Okay, and it's not that hard. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen with you all, just to kind of give you an idea of how to go about it. Just, we're sitting here, it's Wednesday, 3 o'clock. So if you were to do exactly what I'm doing, this is Zillow right here. You can use Redfin as well, but I just kind of want to show you. So this is this is not a new area, but it's kind of popular over this past years, I would say. A lot of builders, they've kind of started putting their footprint here in city gas. So it's considered North Houston, Northeast Houston. So typically, for numbers, like for sake of time, builders want to get 4,000 square foot lots here for about 50,000. And I would say max 60. So if you can find a 4,000 square foot lot in this area, and this is just for me doing deals here, and what I've been seeing and who I've been talking to. So if, as you can see, here we go. Here's a lot of the new constructive active listings. Okay, so these aren't sold; these are for sale, new construction. So how do you find your builders? As you can see here are the listings. You want to look. So let's go. All right, we see here's looks like a townhome duplex. So here we go. Teneva Construction LLC. They're listed with Remax. There's 2 ways you can go about doing this. You could take this LLC and go into open corporates, and find the address, skip trace it, find the owner, or go into Google and type and get into contact with them that way. Or what you can do is you can simply just reach out to the realtor and let them know what you're doing. That, hey, congratulations. I see you sell a lot of, new construction listings here in Houston. It means you work with a lot of builders. Just want to see how I can kind of help your business grow a little bit. I, find land opportunities here in Houston and surrounding areas in paths of progress for builders, specifically. Just wanted to see if, your builder was looking for some lots, and if they were, what zip codes would, where they're looking at. Obviously, if they have new construction listings in, 77028, that's somewhere they're looking. So, do you have an idea of what the price point is that they like to be at? These deals are going to be off market. I am direct to seller on all my deals. And then just ask them, for that warm introduction. But if you just kind of scroll down here, like, let's just take a look. You see right here, Teneba Construction LLC, Mazzello LLC, a Caring Safe Place Builders, Next Gen Real Estate. That's a brokerage, like a listing agent. So I probably would assume that here in Houston, they're very popular. Like Nori sold it. I think she's like the duplex queen. She gets a lot of duplex listings. So when I see, and she's with Next Gen, so when I see in this area, especially, more than likely, she's probably the realtor on these deals. And I mean, honestly, let's see. Just take a look and see. Um, and then the rules still apply, right? So when you're trying to see what the price point for the lots need to be, you want to take the average of, like, because you don't want to use listed prices. A listing price doesn't matter. It does not matter whatsoever what you list the property for. On sold matters. So, okay, cool. So, like, as you can see, Nori Johnson, Next Gen. So Nori. So I was right. So she, like I said, she's pretty popular here in Houston regarding duplex listings. So that's an agent, that I would definitely, if I'm in Houston doing these deals, you would definitely want to connect with somebody like that, right? Because she's listing a lot of new construction duplexes around the city of Houston. She has builder contacts. That's a perfect extension for you to, get in front of more builders, right? So you can kind of keep going down the list. You can see we have Mayberry, Crystal Homes, Yes to Real Estate Development LLC. That's Andre Berard. He's here in Houston. Anovo Construction Developments, and like I said, these are active listings. You can see they're price cutting. So I mean, it's toward the end of the year too. A lot, like, this is a slow buying time. So understanding these cycles is crucial. That's why 2026, between January and April, you need to be hitting the phones hard, following up with every single lead that you call. Because typically these projects are going to take 3 to maybe 5 months, and they're going to be listed during the summer months. Those are a hot time for real estate to sell. So, I mean, when you're looking at this, you just kind of go through Westwood Homes LLC. What's this? Proctor 3D Builders LLC, DMCJ Construction. These are all builders. This is simple. Like, this, what I just did is simple, and you can just easily go and change the zip codes around your city. So, and I have a cheat sheet. I've sent, especially the ones who are in my group. You have a cheat sheet for different cities and the zip codes where the construction is going on. So you can really just type in the zip code, do this exact same thing, and maybe call 10 builders a day on top of what your on top of what your calls are to sellers to get deals under contract. So, like, the way it should go is, me personally, I don't call, like, sellers early in the morning. I typically wait till around 10:30. But so from 8:30 to 10:30, now I'm contacting agents, and that can be text messages. I'm contacting builders. That can be text messages or phone calls. I kind of mix it up a little bit. And me personally, a good rule of thumb is like if I type a number in to text and it pops up blue like it's an iPhone, I'm texting them, right? And I'll always ask, do you have some time today to get on the phone, or are you available now? And if they say, yeah, you can, I'll give you a call. I'm available now. Get on the phone, talk to them, learn a little bit more about them, and then on to the next. And then it's like, all right, cool. My goal per day is to make 125 dials a day. That's 125. I want to be having conversations. I want to talk to these sellers. And I don't get discouraged if I don't get anything under contract, but because the thing is, you have your leads to follow up with, right? So it's just you have to be straightforward with yourself. If you're looking to do this, this is a smile and dial type of industry. Because like the thing is, you can make all these phone calls, right? So like, let's just go over here. I'm gonna share my screen and show you the regrid. This is the same area, okay, that we were just in, and you see how you can kind of virtually drive for dollars, and you can kind of see like, okay, so here, East Land Baby Group, that's a business. You can get leads from here too. Look at this is the LLC, the Mavis LLC. You can skip trace LLCs, guys. Was it Equivest Professionals LLC? Kind of looking for like a construction or something like that. And you see what I'm doing? I'm really just going lot to lot to lot to lot to lot. So Lyra Street Properties LLC. Are they? They must be an investor, right? So, what else do we have here? Good Shepherd Prayers must be a church. As we just keep going, AVR Properties. Okay, take a look at that. Sweet Homes Co. LLC. Talking to them, seeing if they own other properties in the area, if they own lots. Because you got to think about this too. Sometimes builders may have a bunch of properties and they may be willing to offload a lot or something. You never know. That's why it's important to have a conversation to see where they're at in their business. I mean, you can see pretty much all of this right here. Like, obviously, these are people. Innova Construction. See, okay, so we just saw this builder. On Zillow. They have an active listing currently. So if we take a look here, this may be the listing. Okay, so you can see this. Yeah, this more than likely is the listing. But okay, there's the LLC information right there, right? And then you just kind of keep going. You can see what properties have houses on, what properties are vacant, and what their names are. All that. This is virtually driving for dollars. So after you figure out, hey, you get on the phone, you call, let's say for instance, like if I was to kind of run through a scenario, you start out, let's say for instance, you start out with Narisha with the Next Gen. You call, hey, what's going on? My name is Savion. I'm with Miller Land Holdings. I'll just give you a call so that you work with a lot of builders here in Houston, primarily duplex builders. And I just wanted to, talk to you and see if, you had any builders looking to get some projects penciled out, started next year. I do have some lots I wanted to offload, or I just wanted to see what areas are, your business is growing or doing the most in. And at that point, it's like, yeah, if you have lots to send it, clients, a lot of times realtors like that, they're not going to just give you the builder's information, right? And rightfully so, because like at the end of the day, if you are a newbie and this person is a professional, and the builder is a professional, and they give the contact information out, and it comes, you're not professional, you don't know how to value land, it's a bad reflection on them, right? So just be confident. And hey, you have the number, right? You have their contact information. You have their first name, last name. Just get the email, and now hey, I have clients who build in 77033, which is Sunnyside. I have clients who build in 77028. I have clients that build in 77021. If you find minimum 5,000 square foot frontage needs to be this. If you find this lot in this area, I have a builder willing to pay maybe 105. So when you know those, like you know that number, at that point you can just go back, right, to you can just go back to regrid and go find those size lots and off the rip just offer 95 grand, right? If you know a builder, if you know they have a client or you know builders are willing to pay 105 for a 5,000 square foot lot in 77021, when you're getting on the phone and you're talking to your sellers, you're like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? My name is Savion. I'm with Miller Land Holdings. I saw that you own a property here on 8004 Birmingham Street. Looks like it's an empty lot. Do you still own that lot? Yes, I do. Okay, cool. Well, I was just giving a call to see if you were maybe open to entertaining a cash offer for that lot. If they say it depends on the number or for the right price, well, I mean, for this particular lot, I could pay 95,000 cash for this lot. Would that number work for you? And some like the conversation, nine times out of 10, is probably not going to go that smooth, right? There might be obviously some talking, a couple, some feedback, some pushback, maybe. But if they say, let me think about it. Okay, that's fine. If I don't hear back from you today, or if I don't hear back from you, yeah, today is it fine if I give you a call tomorrow at 9:30, or would you prefer me to call you at around lunchtime? Right? You want to give them the illusion of choice. And that's just sales, right? You don't want to say, when can I call you back and leave it up to them? No, like let's say if they say I can give you a call right back, you can say, okay, can I expect you to give me a call back, around 2 p.m., around 6? If they say I can give you a call at 2, okay, if I don't hear from you, by 2:30, is it fine if I give you a call back at 5? Right? If they say, let me think about it, I can give you a call tomorrow, you do the same thing. If I don't hear back from you by 12 o'clock noon tomorrow, is it okay if I give you a call at this time? Right? Boom. And then at that point, it's just a follow-up game. You just keep following up, letting you know, and then you want to let them know, like, hey, look, everybody's in the business to make money. Obviously, you want to make money. You want to walk away with, money from your property, rightfully so. Obviously, we need to make money as, the land acquisitions team. That's what you are. You work with builders via land acquisition. Everybody needs to make money, and I prefer everything to be a little bit equitable. So, from what the properties are selling for the new construction, especially what your clients are trying to build, we would be at this price. But the good thing is it's all cash, right? So assuming title's clear, if the survey comes in clean, we'll be able to close, within 2 weeks or less. And then you can go into, I mean, off the top of your head, is there any title issues or any taxes owed or, anything to worry about with the open title? Okay, cool. I mean, so with that being said, I mean, what does that number work? Like I said, we can get this done, get this transaction closed. I'll handle everything. You will be included in all emails for transparency purposes when it comes to contacting title and getting all those docs and stuff. If they say yes, cool. Let them know. Would you prefer, like if you're in the same city, obviously, if I'm in Houston right now. I've done a few deals in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm not going to say I can come meet you. It's like, I'm here in Houston. I can email you via DocuSign the agreement. Once I have that signed, we can open title. What's your email? Or if you're in the city and maybe you're dealing with elderly, because a lot of these areas that gentrify, like a lot of these people that own these lots are older, so they may prefer to meet in person, right? So just let them know, I can meet you in person. You can kind of walk through it, or if you prefer, I can email you the agreement and you can sign. And that's pretty much all you need to do. But before you even get to that point, you got to know what you're looking for, right? You can't just be looking at random lots. Because if you're in this area, there's not a lot of 5,000. It's not like Fifth Ward in Houston where, there's a lot of 5,000 square foot lots. Here it's going to be like 4,000, 44, but that's why it's perfect for duplexes, right? So because you're not going to replat the land and make it two separate addresses as you would like if you were doing townhomes. So like if you were putting 2-pack townhomes on lots, or if you had a 10,000 square foot lot, if you chopped it up into 4 2,500 square foot lots, and you put up 4-pack townhomes. Like, you're not doing that with duplexes, right? It's going to be the same address. It's just going to be unit A, unit B, or 1402 or 1403. But it's like, what I'm saying? It's like, that's pretty much how it goes. So that's why it's important for you to do this stuff in order. Talk to builders first. Talk to realtors and builders first, right? The realtors on the front line. That's what their job is to meet new people every day in the business that you can build a book of business around. So you're talking to your realtors, getting information, what they're seeing, what their market, you can always ask them for comps, all that kind of stuff, right? Seeing what's the land selling for on market, price per square foot wise. So the average price per square foot for lots is $18 or $12. So if you're selling off market properties, they probably need to be around $7 to $8, $7 to $8 a foot for it to be considered a wholesale deal. So if you can sell a 4,000 square foot lot in this area on market for 65,000 on market, off market, you probably need to be selling it for like 55, right? For it to be considered a wholesale deal. So you probably need to have that lot under contract for 50 and sell for 55. And it'll fly like hotcakes all day in this market. And you're not going to learn that until you start being active, until you start getting on the phone, getting properties under contract. Some deals may fall through. It's okay. It happens. But in order for you to win in this business long term, you got to make those phone. You got to make it make sense. This isn't get rich quick shit. If you want to create some sort of revenue outside of your W-2, this is what you can do. If you want to go all in and, fuck it, make this what you do for a living, because you can do this from anywhere in the world. So if you want to be able to have that freedom to travel and work and, you can go on vacation, you can be somewhere, but you can also crank open your laptop, put your headset on and, get some work done, right? Maybe spend 2-3 hours a day while you're out on vacation doing some work, so this is what you can do. And like I said, the game plan should be meet the realtors, talk to the builders first, find out what markets they're in. Okay, master a market. So if me personally, I would start out in the Sun Belt. I would start out in Dallas. I would start out in Houston. I would start in Nashville, Tennessee. Lehigh Acres, Florida is good. A lot of different areas around Florida are good. South Carolina has you can't wholesale in South Carolina, but Charlotte, North Carolina is a really good market. North Carolina in general is a really good market. You just need to find out where the builders are and do the same thing. Just the same exact thing. Find out where the new construction is listed. Find out where the new construction is sold. Talk to builders, talk to realtors, get their buy box, and then go start making the phone calls. And when I'm telling you that's going to be the best and highest use of your time in the beginning while you don't have any money is going to be hopping on the phones, getting deals under contract, calling. Because you're not going to get a deal if you're not making the phone calls. Yes, there's different ways for you. Like you can send text message campaigns. You can run Facebook ads. You can do all of that stuff, but that requires money. If you do not have money, this is the easiest way for you to start making some money is to get on the phone and just start calling. If you have enough money to order a headset, it's Christmas time coming up. Let your people know, hey, what I want for Christmas is I want the Mojo Dialer. I want the prop stream if you want to pull a list, right? Mojo Dialer with the prop stream and a headset. So that way you can hit the ground running come 2026. Like the time is now. A lot of rates are changing now. Federal Reserve meetings, they're bringing down rates. So the market's going to get a lot more active. So with that being said, if you do want somebody to hold your hand, if you want an outlet or, a resource, I have a land profit program. It's one-time payment of $97. That's it. That's the only investment that you're going to make is $97. You spend more than that on a weekend drinking probably. But it's just for $97 to get, a lot of stuff I post on YouTube for free. But if you want the one-on-one and you want to be able to communicate and talk and walk through deals, even if you're looking at doing a build project, let's go ahead and do that. So again, if you are interested, my email will be in the description below. Just shoot me an email. I'll go ahead, email you the link. Once the payment is made, you'll receive your onboarding email. And then at that point, we'll go from there. Let's go close some deals.